When you think about planetariums, you probably imagine something like a big dome where they project the stars in the night sky. You learn about the constellations, see how the sun rises and falls, phases of the moon, stuff like that. But what if I were to tell you that you, with modern day technology, could use a planetarium for just about any subject that you want? Hi, my name is Ariel. I'm an astrophysicist and the head director of the operation to reopen the Jefferson County Planetarium for Lakewood, Colorado. Professionally, I've worked in the planetarium industry for about half a decade, but I've been inspired by these types of facilities since early elementary school, uh, obviously with the Lakewood Planetarium, and of course the one in the Denver Museum as well. And one thing that I've noticed, if you haven't been to a planetarium in the last decade or so, you probably think that they're just limited to astronomy. But that isn't exactly the case anymore now that we have access to digitally powered planetariums. When you think about it, a planetarium is just a giant hemispherical screen that you can project basically anything you want to uh, onto it. That is, of course, as long as you have a strong enough computer. So I decided to make a short series where I could highlight some of the different ways that you could use a modern planetarium beyond just looking at the stars stuck here on Earth. And for this first video, I'm going to be talking about the field of biology. So when it comes to biology, what better place to start than with the basis of all of the field being deoxyribonucleic acid or DNA. Just imagine, if you can, being inside of a theater. Keep in mind that everything done in a modern planetarium can be done live, and so there's no necessarily any pre-recording of anything. You can just pop up a molecule of DNA, and you can fly around it, zoom through, see all of the different uh, A, G, T, G. Uh, wait, I said that already. What was the last one? Oh, right. C goes with G. Uh, and so keep in mind, yeah, sorry, astrophysicist, not biology major. But I still did study the origins of life a little bit after I graduated. But that's what the teachers are for. I'm just sort of there to assist with whatever they would need should we reopen the facility. Uh, but that said, we can still do all types of things with any sort of biological molecules, and we can project them with different colors. We can see different shapes, project videos that are pre-recorded on how uh, the DNA splits off, how RNA comes in, and with the various different proteins bind and replicate inside of the nucleus of the cell and just get a better understanding of how biology and chemistry connect with one another. And speaking of cells, we can obviously as well project a full 3D rendering of a cell that you can fly in, out of, you can look at where all of the different organelles are within the cell, whether it's a eukaryotic one like plant or animal, fungus, or a prokaryotic cell. You can look at bacteria, viruses, uh, and see all of the different components within, dive into the mitochondria, look at how ATP is produced within those organelles. Obviously, talk about the history of where each of these come from, their different functions, the endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi apparatus, all that fun stuff. And we can also, of course, project how you can see a cell dividing and what differentiates various types of cells, either within the human body or just along in the tree of life. Expanding out a little bit, we can look at the human body sort of as a complete organism. We actually have, and I've seen several of these videos of the human body that are specially designed for planetarium, and they go through the body sort of like a magic school bus style type thing, where you can dive into the veins, arteries, look at various types of systems, the immune system, nervous system, um, muscle structure, skeletal system, all those different types of things. Go dive through digestive tract, anything you can imagine. See different layers of the human body that you can turn on and off, um, and discuss in more detail. And in addition to that, you can cut and paste certain types of videos, so you don't necessarily have to watch an entire full-length movie of something. You can actually turn off the sound if there's already an audio recording. That way, whatever teacher is giving the presentation can um, use their own words or their own lesson plan in lieu of that. And they can select specific blocks of the video that they can use. In addition to that, if they don't want to cover, say, whole body, they just want to cover a specific system, we can paste that to the teacher's wishes. Finally, on a broader scale, we can discuss ecology. Again, we're not stuck on the Earth anymore, so we can actually lift off of the planet, view the Earth from orbit, and take a look at the entire globe and all that it has to offer with regards to life on the surface. So, what does that entail? Well, you can look at ocean currents, the changing climate. You can see how, as the Earth orbits around the sun, seasons change and how that dictates things such as migration, both at land and at sea and in the air for various types of animal life, how the seasons dictate what types of animals are active when, say for hibernation, as an example, or looking at what types of flora and fauna are prevalent in different types of areas, say near the equator, in the tropics. Why do they live in those certain locations? What are different ecosystems that might exist? And what types of animals fill the various niches that arise as a result of those types of environments? And how they can change over time, how chains of food and nourishment uh, are dictated by various types of environments. And of course, if you want to, you can discuss climate change much easier if you can actually see the planet and project onto the surface of the planet uh, not only maps, figures, diagrams, graphs, but in addition to that, you can look at the Earth and see it change over the course of 100 years, couple thousand years, full million years, if you wanted to, and see how the geography and the various types of um, climate elements, say carbon dioxide, methane, oxygen, how those have affected life on the planet over the course of 4.5 billion years. And that's just a general sample of a few different things that we could use a planetarium for these days, all of which uh, can be bolstered with a larger screen where you can project multiple different slides and do customizable shows that you couldn't do in a standard classroom. And in addition to that, you can get slightly more comfortable seats for your students. In addition to that, give them a nice sort of retreat from the standard classroom setting. So those are just a few ideas that I have off the top of my head on how you could use a planetarium to help teach biology specifically. In subsequent videos, I'll discuss other different fields, including chemistry, um, music theory, literature, history, because again, it's just a screen like you have in your smart boards in the classroom, except it's more immersive, surrounded on all 360 degrees, and it's completely customizable and much more diverse and probably more powerful than the standard computer you would have in a classroom. So, with that in mind, I hope that this kind of gave you a few ideas. If you are a biology teacher, then you could probably come up with a lot more examples that I haven't thought of. And if that's the case, then definitely feel free to share this video along with some thoughts of yours with your colleagues. And Visit your local planetarium and ask them how they might be able to integrate your ideas into potential educational shows, either for students or the general public. Thanks again for watching, and look forward to more videos in the future.